Shay Shay. Welcome back to my channel, guys. So today I'm going to talk about my birth story of my second child. If you guys are new here, welcome. My name is Shayla, aka Shay Shay, and I have two children, a girl and a boy, and I will link both birth videos down below if you guys want to check that out after this video. But okay, let's just get right into it. So my labor was fast, but yet a lot of things happened before, during, and after. So let's just get right into my labor and delivery story of my son, my second child. If you see me look at my phone, I pretty much wrote everything down because it's almost now 4 months later and I haven't got to talk about it till now. So yeah, let's just get right into it, so don't mind me looking at my phone or my notes. Okay, so starting off, the week before I was about to give birth, I had my pretty much, well, I guess not last appointment, but it was supposed to be my second to last appointment before I gave birth, which technically it was. But at that appointment, I was 3 to 4 centimeters dilated and 80% effaced. Now comparing this to my first birth, the first time I stayed 1 centimeter dilated the entire time at the end, but I stayed 80% effaced. But this time during my second labor, I was 3 to 4 centimeters dilated and 80% effaced. That's what I kind of stayed and then progressed from. So my doctor, like pretty much, I saw her every week, and she told me to basically come right back in because she was a little bit surprised and shocked that I was dilating so fast. I was 3 to 4 centimeters. And now you're probably thinking like, girl, that sounds like a lot. Well, it kind of is, but legally they can't admit you to your 5 centimeters, which I'll get right into that. So basically so she told me that at my second to last appointment before I gave birth. Then she said, okay, so you're already kind of far along, so I think I should just see you next week. And normally my appointments are not that close together, even though, or like back to back, even though like I did see her every week. You see her in the last month of your pregnancy, or your doctor and your gynecologist every week in the last month of your pregnancy to prepare for birth, obviously. So she told me to come back in the following week on Monday, which is the day I gave birth to my son. But basically she told me that if I was 5 centimeters, they would legally have to admit me to the hospital. So I was like, okay. And she was like, yeah, I think, you know, you're gonna be 5 centimeters. So I really wanna see you right back here on Monday, and you have to be here because I feel that you're gonna be 5 centimeters. So I was like, I don't know, but okay. Even though I was so ready, I was so uncomfortable. And I think I dilated so fast because she stripped my membranes, even though I had that done the first time too. But the second time, and it really hurt too, by the way. But yeah, I got my membrane stripped, and I think this one made me dilate fast because nothing I did helped. Yeah, nothing I did helped dilate me faster, except for drinking pineapple juice, actually. Maybe that was it, why I dilated so fast. But yeah, so I went in on the following Monday, and pretty much it's so funny, and it's got like kind of coincidental because this happened to me the first time I gave birth. So I ended up going for a regular appointment the first time I gave birth, and then I ended up being admitted to the hospital. And guess what, guys? The same thing happened again. Like, I literally gave birth after my appointment, and my doctor was pretty much right. She was right to say that I was 5 centimeters because she checked me, and I was. So legally they had to admit me to the hospital, and I couldn't leave, and I was very shocked. But this time I came prepared for my you know, birth. If I had to go in, I brought my diaper bag, my hospital bag. I brought everything this time because I'm like, this might be it. Like, when I was talking to my boyfriend at the time, well, the father, I was like, this might be it. I think I'm gonna be admitted today. And the same thing pretty much happened again. So she checked me for dilation, told me I was 5 centimeters, then told me to go downstairs and check in, and it's time to give birth. And again, I was like a little scared.
And
but I was so ready. I was so done, you know, being pregnant. It's so beautiful, but it's so tiring, overwhelming, hard, painful, uncomfortable. Same with birth, but pregnancy is 9 months to 10 months long, okay? It is almost a year long that you're carrying a human inside of you and growing a human, and it just all hurts, okay? Let's just say it all hurts. But yeah, guys, so she checked me. I was 5 centimeters, and I got admitted. So let's get right into it from there. Oh, and I was 80% effaced again. I was 5 centimeters dilated and 80 to 90% effaced. So I had to check into labor and delivery at like 4 p.m. They call this advanced or augmentation dilation or advanced dilatation, meaning that since I was dilating so much on my own that they legally had to admit me, and they could not turn me away to say like, okay, you gotta labor at home. Like, I was about to give birth, so legally they had to admit me before I got too far along. So when I got there, I had to do paperwork, even though I already pre-registered, which I recommend you pre-register before you give birth, like when you're pregnant. But yeah, so I already pre-registered, but I still had to sign like consent forms and stuff like that. It wasn't too much paperwork. It was just my signature on certain things and the epidural and stuff like that, I think. But yeah, so I did that. Then she told me to, I wish I would have took a picture of it, but the nurse that was in there with me, she told me to scrub down with some type of like antibacterial wipe or something, like I guess you use before you get surgery or something, I don't know. But they didn't tell me that the first time, but now they told me to do that, so I thought that was a little weird, but I did it. She said like from like your stomach to the waist down. Okay, so after I wiped myself down, she wanted a urine sample. I don't know why. Then my baby daddy and boyfriend at the time called me, and he was in the cafeteria because I don't know why he couldn't be in there. I don't know, they told him to wait, so he went downstairs and he wanted to give me food, so he called me, and I was talking to him in the bathroom as I was changing into my gown and giving the urine sample and wiping down. And he was like, what do you want, babe, and stuff like that. And I guess I was being loud in the bathroom, even though like the nurse was standing right outside the door, because she was waiting to get me set up for the IV. So I was talking to him saying, yeah, I'm hungry and da-da. Mind you, I didn't eat nothing, you know, the entire day, and it's now going until kind of the late afternoon and I didn't eat anything. So I was like, yeah, I am hungry, I want some food. He was like, they got pizza, burgers, da-da-da. And I was like, yeah, I want some pizza. I was so excited for this pizza, you guys. So then I came out the bathroom and they're like, are you on the phone? And I was like, because this is what the nurse was asking me, and I was like, yeah, I was on the phone. And she was like, are you trying to eat something? And I'm like, yeah, I'm really hungry. And she was like, no, you can't eat anything, sweetie. It's too late, you can't have anything. So again, I couldn't eat anything again. So I'm like, okay, like, great. So yeah, she was just laughing, talking about, you can't eat anything, like, what do you think this is, girl? So yeah, so I couldn't get nothing. So basically he ate and I didn't, and I was starving. But that's what normally happens per usual. If you hear yelling, that's my brother. If you do hear some yelling, that's him being loud. But yeah, so basically my doctor wanted me to hurry up too. When I was on the phone, you know, taking my time a little bit, like talking, because I was so hungry and I was nervous too. So I was just like talking. But my doctor wanted me to hurry up, which I'm so happy she was rushing me. Well, she's a really good doctor though. Like this birth was way better than my last. And again, I'll link the videos down below if you want to see both my birth videos and compare the two. But yeah, so I literally had to hurry up because I was so far dilated, and that's why she was like saying, okay, you know, we need to get her hooked up to the epidural. I need to break her water. Oh, and my water did not break again for the second time. So yeah, so she wanted me to get an epidural as soon as possible, which I am so thankful that she did that and wanted that for me, because I literally had the best birth ever the second time around than I did the first time. So let's just say that. So I got the epidural. It didn't hurt. It felt like baby nail pinches, and they said I would feel like twinging of the nerves a little bit, and I did, but it didn't hurt. I felt a hotness at the bottom first. I felt like hotness in my bottom area when I got the epidural. That's where it hit first, and I was sitting up like this, like bent over, and yeah, so that's what I felt, and it did not hurt again. It felt like baby nail pinches to get the epidural. I don't know how else to explain it, but it feels like a tiny little baby pinching you. And I know baby nails actually hurt because my son be scratching me now, but baby nail pinches that don't hurt, I don't know. And then I felt a numbing, tingling sensation in my legs and in my stomach, and my boyfriend at the time, the father of my kids, he was rubbing my belly and touching my feet, and I felt him rubbing my belly and touching my feet still, even though I got the epidural, but nothing hurt though. I had no bad contractions that I felt at all, okay? I did feel some slightly as the time did go by, and I felt it in like my right butt cheek, and I felt like a pooping pressure, which is when, you know, it's time to push and the baby is gonna come out soon. But after my epidural kicked in, my doctor made sure, she was so considerate, so sweet, so kind, just such a kind, quiet, calm, professional woman. Very smart as well. I just love my doctor. She's my regular OBGYN, but I love her. She was such a good doctor. But yeah, so she waited till my epidural kicked in, then she broke my water. It's kind of like this hook thing. It didn't hurt because, I mean, I had my epidural going, so I don't know if it would have hurt me if I wouldn't have had that going. So I don't know what that feels like without an epidural, but I do know that it did not hurt me. Only a little bit of my water broke though when she broke my water, because he was already so far head down, just like my first birth. My son though was so far head down that only a little bit of the water broke, and basically the rest broke when I gave birth to him. Basically his little big old head was acting like a plug down there, so the water could not fully break. They gave me a little Pitocin around 5:45 p.m. that day. Mind you, I checked in at 4. It's now 5:45 p.m. and they gave me an epidural. She broke my water at this point, and then they gave me a little bit of Pitocin to keep things going. Some hours passed. I'm just sitting in the bed, chilling, talking, hanging out with my boyfriend, and talking to the nurses, as you guys see in my birth video, which they didn't let me film the birth video, but I caught everything up until and after the birth video, so my labor and delivery video. At 7:45 p.m., I was then 7 centimeters dilated and fully effaced. So we're getting really close, you know, to the end here. I started to feel like I had to go poop, and I had a little bit of contractions like inside my butt. Well, on the right side of my butt cheek, I think. I started feeling some slight contractions, not really that painful still, because I had the epidural going. And the epidural wasn't super strong, but it wasn't like a lot either, because I could feel certain things and not feel a lot of other things. And then at 8:14, I was 10 centimeters dilated and fully effaced, so it was go time. I pushed for like about 15 minutes, which you'll hear the nurse say that in my video too. I pushed for like 10 to 15 minutes, and then at 8:30 my son was born, and he was 7 pounds even and 19 inches and a quarter long. After that, after I gave birth, my nurse stuck a catheter in. I didn't feel it either, but it didn't hurt me at all, and then she took it right out. I don't know why she did. I thought you keep catheters in, but she took it right, like I thought you keep catheters in when you have an epidural, but she just put it in, then she took it right back out, and pee did come out, maybe TMI, but she got the pee out there and I was good. Okay, but going back a little bit though, what I wrote here was that with the epidural, I could move my legs almost the whole time, and my legs, and me not feeling my legs or being numb, didn't bother me until my boyfriend was talking to his mom on the phone, and she was rushing to get to the hospital because she wanted to see the birth of her grandson, but she did miss it. But she was rushing, and she told me, well, jokingly, to keep my legs closed. And when he told me that, I literally started like I started freaking out, because I didn't think about my legs at all until like his mom said that, and he told me that, and I was like, I started freaking out because I couldn't move my legs. But I didn't care before that, if that makes sense. Like, I didn't notice that they were heavy until they started talking about my legs. So just considerate and mindful tip. If you're in the room with someone who's about to give labor and they're already freaking out or have anxiety, you know, or just in general, even if they don't, please don't mention anything about their legs, because it will start reminding them of that, and then it's like a scary kind of feeling. Yeah, it'll remind them of that they can't feel their legs. So I could feel this pooping pressure, or this like bearing down, like uncomfortable heavy pressure. I still could feel that, which with the epidural, they take the pain away, but you can feel still the pressure. I think same with the C-section as well, even though I never had a C-section, but that's what I heard. So then I felt some contractions slightly, not really. Again, I wasn't really in pain. And I felt him coming out. The only pain that I felt during this whole process was him coming out. So like, what I wrote down was that when I felt that, I'm reading this from my phone by the way, because this was 4 months ago, even though it seemed like not that long ago, but my birth already seems like so long ago. But so basically I said that when he was coming out, and when he was crowning, I felt a tightness, like this so uncomfortable like tightness, some pain, and I felt him stuck. And they were kind of like telling me I was doing good pushing this time, but then sometimes like I wasn't pushing in the right place or something. I don't even know how that's possible, but my nurse said I wasn't pushing in the right places at times, but she said when I knew how to push, I was doing really good. And you can hear her say that in my video, again referencing my video in case you guys want to see that. Which also my video, I know it's not as intense as my first video, but you guys, literally, I'm so thankful that it wasn't, okay? I was not in pain in my second video. I know you heard, you know, my boyfriend chewing in the background. I don't know, like making weird noises, and it was kind of maybe boring, but I'm so thankful for a boring, calm, happy, healthy birth, okay? I'm thankful for that. I would rather it a million times be boring and calm and serene than have an intense, painful, unmedicated, hard, people being so rude to me labor, okay? I just want to throw that in there and just address that real quick from my second birth video. But okay, so back to what I was saying, my story. I'm always getting like off topic. So yeah, I felt him stuck, and he was stuck, and I felt that, and they were like saying something slightly about it, but not like to cause alarm or anything. But I definitely did feel him get stuck, and that hurt a lot. But right after they got him out, I felt floods and floods of water, probably water, blood, all that stuff that's inside of you when that, you know, is in there with the baby. And then that was my water breaking, because again, my water did not break for the second time, because I gave birth twice now and my water never broke both times. So I guess that was my water fully breaking after he came out. I just felt a big gush when he was born. Then I delivered the placenta. They had me deliver the placenta next, and that didn't hurt. Again, I remember the first time it not hurting, and the second time didn't hurt me either. I know for some women they say that delivering the placenta all over again is like giving birth. My placenta came out in like 1 to 3 minutes. I kid you not. It did not hurt at all. I think at this point though is when it started hurting again for me, and I think the epidural was wearing off, because again, it wasn't that strong to me to where I could move my legs. Like, that's not really strong to me. I never remember pushing a button or anything like that. I used whatever they gave me, and I got through my labor, which my labor was 4.5 hours long. So just half an hour longer than my first. My first birth was 4 hours long, and now this one was 4.5. So yeah, the part that really kind of hurt was the stitching up, because I did tear during my birth. She did not cut me, thankfully. I did not get an episiotomy, because the first time I did get an episiotomy, and the second time she didn't cut me, and she didn't want to cut me, like, because we already spoke about what I went through the first time. So she made sure that, which, you know, obviously if they had to cut me, I would, you know, be completely fine with them. If it was in jeopardy of my baby and they had to do that to save him, of course I would let that happen. But I really didn't want to be cut again, and she made sure, you know, to the best of her ability, that I wouldn't get cut, and I didn't. So thank you to my doctor. But so I felt the stitching again. I felt the stitching the first time, and I did feel the stitching again the second time. I wish I would have probably like asked for some more pain medicine or some more epidural, because it was still going in my back still. They didn't take it out. But yeah, I did feel the tugging, the pulling, and I felt a tiny bit of the sharpness of the needle going in and out a little bit. So I did feel my stitching. She said I did not tear bad though at all. It was like a really minor tear, even though I had complications with that. I'll get in a whole nother video about that. But yeah, I had a little bit of complications after that. I had tore down my perineum a little bit, and then I had like 2 like tears in the inside, kind of like, she said like skid mark tears I had like on both sides, and then I tore on my perineum. But she said it was all minor though, so I just believed her. And you know, birth and stitches and tearing hurts anyway, so whatever. It was what it was. I got 2 to 3 stitches. Yeah, that was it. Okay, and now kind of like the last part to the story. So after that, oh, I also didn't mention that, so I told you guys that my labor was 4.5 hours, right? So she actually left the hospital when I was almost 10 centimeters. And I remember telling the nurses, even in my video, I think I captured, I hope I did, that I was like, hey, like, I'm starting to feel pressure, like, you know, I'm not feeling right, you know, I think I might have to push. And they're like, no, do not start pushing, but they checked me and they're like, oh wow, like, then they started freaking out. And I think I did capture that in my video. They were like freaking out because I dilated so quick within like an hour or 30 minutes, something like that. I went from like 7 to 10 centimeters. I just jumped that fast. So my doctor came rushing back. Luckily she didn't live far from the hospital. Yeah, she was gonna leave and come back. She's like, oh yeah, I'll be back later, you know, you'll still be here, I'll be back. But nope, you need to rush back, girl, because it was time to push out my son. So she came rushing back, got all prepped, you know, and then I started pushing after right when she came back. I started pushing. So I just wanted to mention that because I forgot to mention that. But yeah, that was basically my labor and delivery story. I pretty much had a 4.5 hour labor. Things went very fast for me. It was a very, very nice experience compared to the first time. And I'm just so thankful for that. I kept praying and worrying about that. So I'm so thankful that it was like good. But yeah, that was it. I pushed for 4.5. I was in labor 4.5 hours. I pushed for 10 to 15 minutes and my son was here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoy my actual footage of my births. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I have more videos on the way. Mommy, baby, hopefully vlogs, hauls. Definitely some more fragrance coming up soon. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my story time of my birth of my second child, my sweet, chunky, hungry little baby boy. Yeah, all right guys, stay blessed and safe during this quarantine. And you know what? I have a new quote, okay, I'm gonna say after every video, because this is what I believe in the most right now. You can do anything you set your mind to, because if someone else can do it, why can't you, okay? Say it with me. If someone else can do it, why can't you? All right, bye guys.